The Tale of Tlyquin Harbour and Shipbreaker. Tlyquin Harbour was a nice place, with nice people. No one knew how old the place was, and as far as anyone was concerned, the place was as old as time itself. Tlyquin Harbour was built into the coastal cliffs on the north side of Brenham's Island. There was a small strip of flat land between the cliffs and the sea. Built out from this strip, there was a wooden pier. The pier had a few small houses and businesses on it. However, the only boats that it ever saw were local fishing ones. No one here knew anything of the outside world, and as far as the people of Tlyquin Harbour knew or cared, there was no outside world to know of them back. Brenham's Island was the entire world. Over the years, a myth had developed about the fog that surrounded the island on some occasions. People would go missing in the fog. Heck, even entire ships would go missing. The people made up the legend of Shipbreaker to try and explain away the disappearances. Most people figured it was just people getting lost in the fog and being unable to tell what way they came from. It stuck mostly as a story for scaring children. Some people believed the tales and swore never to go out in the fog. Michael Black didn't like the paranoia and decided to wander out into the fog tied by a mile-long rope to the pier. He brought with him a pike to quell the fears of the children who still believed the legend. Michael had been gone around a quarter hour when the rope started spooling out quickly. It was 2 minutes after that when the rope snapped when it reached the end of its length and vanished into the fog. Everyone looked at each other, confused as their worst nightmares were realized. There was something in the fog. For the next few days, everyone tried to act normally. A militia was immediately set up in the hopes that it would make people feel safe again. The new army was to be 22 strong, equipped with any weapons that could be found. There were 5 pikes, 4 crossbows, 8 machetes, 2 swords, 2 bows, and a decorative mace found hanging in somebody's living room. The conscription was simple: volunteer and get to choose your weapon, or be in the raffle and get given whatever weapon is left if you're picked. After 9 volunteers choosing crossbows, swords, and a mace, the rest got pikes and machetes. It was a few days later and some kids organized a secret search party for Michael Black. Their logic was simple: find the rope, find Michael, find Shipbreaker. Their cover story was that they were going to find a bunny they had seen earlier. No one thought anything of it because when it wasn't foggy, nothing ever happened. They set out on their expedition, and after an hour, one of them ran into the rope. They ran back and told the new military people. The children led them to the rope, and the militia followed it. They found a den with the rope leading inside. One man tugged on the rope, and out came a beast the size of a man, walking on all 4 legs with a strange gait. It had 1 nostril, no eyes, grey skin, and conical teeth protruding from its jaws. It leaped with incredible force at the man who tugged the rope and ripped him to shreds. The crossbows discharged into the beast. 1 bolt pinned its foot, if you could even call it that, to the ground. It was charged with machetes, pikes, and swords. It got its foot free and swiped away 5 of the soldiers. It jumped with incredible speed and ripped out the throat of a bowman and proceeded to devour him while he lay choking in his own blood. A man lunged at it with his mace and struck it on the head, stunning it for a second. It was then hit with another volley of bolts from the crossbows. A swordsman amputated its left front leg and went for the killing blow, only to be stopped by an ear-piercing screech, loud enough that people say they heard it back in Tlyquin Harbour. The only man not temporarily deafened by the screech, Johnny Small, then thrust the pike into the beast's head and it went limp. Shipbreaker was dead, along with 6 of the militia. The survivors had a severe case of tinnitus at best. Johnny Small hauled the beast back to Tlyquin Harbour and was hailed a hero by the residents. Shipbreaker was no longer a threat. The people were safe once again.